Everyone, this is Juan Fernandez along with Susie Suh coming to you live from the KCAL9 News studios and on CBS News Los Angeles with some breaking news. Just moments ago, we got word of a shooting at Ulysses S High School coming into our newsroom. So let's go up to Desmond Shaw live in Sky 9 to find out what we're learning so far. Des.
Juan and Susie, so this is going to be on Oxnard Street near Coldwater Canyon. It's basically a campus that adjoins with Valley College. You see LAPD responding now. We understand that the shooting happened at dismissal, and it looks like it happened outside of the school. I'm just going to zoom in. You're going to see a little bit of that yellow tape here as LAPD is setting up the crime scene. Looks to have happened under this canopy of trees. I've just been seeing a lot of officials pointing in that area, possibly some witnesses as well. There had been an ambulance here that had the victim. They were here for quite a long time, which we were hoping was good news that they were non-life-threatening injuries, and we just got more info that this person that was shot has been transported to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, which is pretty far from here, which also tells me that hopefully this is non-life-threatening. If it was very, very serious, they probably would have just gone to the nearest hospital. So hopefully that is going to be some good news. It's unclear who was shot, if this was just someone who was out here walking around, if it was a student that has not been confirmed to us yet, but one person has been shot, and it's unclear if they were shot by someone else walking around or if this came from a vehicle. So that is all details that LAPD is still trying to figure out here very early in the investigation. Juan and Susie.
Yeah, just monitoring some of the socials, Desmond, some of the traffic out here saying that possibly someone was shot in the legs. So as you say, hopefully that's not life-threatening, and that so far this does not appear to be an active shooter scene, which we could see there just by the amount of police officers that are there. Just looks like the area has been cleared out.
Yeah, no kidding. And, you know, the people have been told to clear the area by LAPD. And they're also telling us that the school, Ulysses High School right now, is on lockdown, even though this did happen during dismissal time. I imagine there are still staff members and some students still on campus doing some after-school things and wrapping up class for the day. So we're going to keep an eye on this situation here on KCAL9. This is all happening in Valley Glen. High school shooting investigation happening after school. We do not know who shot who, if it was a student who was shot, if it was a student who did the shooting, or maybe a bystander or someone else, you know, who came by the campus and did this. So we have no idea what the actual motive was either, but we're certainly going to be monitoring the situation live from Sky 9 as well as on the ground there. A high school shooting investigation happening right now in the city of Valley Glen. The person, the victim who was shot, we're told was transported to Cedars-Sinai Hospital. Their condition unknown.
And possibly shot in the leg. Desmond, can you show us where the front of the school is, just to get an idea where this location is under the canopy where you said where this shooting most likely took place? Where's the front of the school?
Here's the front gates right here, and they are indeed closed and locked. And we just got word here from our assignment desk that now LAPD has confirmed that this was a student who was shot. They have not indicated anything you were talking about on social media, shot in the leg. They haven't confirmed that, but they are saying that it was a student that was shot. So extremely unfortunate, especially with recent events that have been going on in Texas. Obviously it's on everybody's mind, so you may be even seeing an extra large response here from LAPD just widening out, and you're seeing here more than a dozen cruisers that are out here right now. But again, from the details and what we were seeing happening earlier, it sounds like they are non-life-threatening injuries, but you know, LAPD, they don't have any word on a suspect yet, or if anyone fled in a vehicle or on foot. We haven't heard any information like that, so I'm sure they're going to be down here. I saw them talking to probably a lot of witnesses. If it was at dismissal, in theory, a lot of people may have seen the shooting, so hopefully LAPD will be able to get some more information on who. Okay, and now we're hearing it was an older green Honda that fled eastbound. So there's another little piece of information here that LAPD now looking for an older green Honda, last seen leaving eastbound on Oxnard Street.
Yeah, I was monitoring the socials as I was mentioning, Desmond, and some of the folks who listen to police scanner traffic was mentioning the possibility of this being some sort of drive-by. Whether or not the student that was hit was targeted, we do not know. But of course, for parents watching this drama unfold right here in our backyard, the news to share with them is it appears to be an isolated incident. It's not an active shooter, and that the person with the gun apparently has taken off in an older green Honda, which police are now going to be searching for. But as you can see, still quite a bit of police presence there, most likely Officers also heading to the hospital to speak to that student to see if they can provide any extra information. But for the time being, I mean, it's almost 4 o'clock. I'm assuming school has wrapped up for the day, right? So
I mean,
school is locked down, right?
Yeah, and you know, we were over the scene after it happened, obviously, which is the case in many cases. But you can only imagine the kind of commotion that was going on when, you know, students heard these gunshots. I imagine there was a big crowd outside when it was around dismissal time, you know, as well as parents parked along schools, you know, waiting for their students to come out. Obviously, the LAPD has cleared the area of parents and anyone else in the area, but still, you can only imagine, especially as Desmond was talking about, at a time like this in the world when, you know, a school shooting is so fresh on our minds, especially parents, and their concerns are so heightened right now. I can only imagine what was going on that campus today. Yeah,
when I first heard this was happening, I hope this isn't true, that this is happening in our own backyard. Of course, taking into consideration what's happened in Uvalde, Texas, over the last week or so, such tragic news coming from there. A different situation here, but look at that police response. A very heavy police response. Desmond was showing us earlier, it looked like officers were talking to school administrators right outside the school there, right where this happened. So hopefully they've identified at least the student. They know what's going on here. And Desmond, are those parents and students? What are we looking at here?
It looks primarily like grown-ups, so these may be parents and perhaps a few people that live in this neighborhood. Perhaps they heard some gunshots. I mean, this is a residential neighborhood with a lot of apartment buildings, so you have to imagine that, you know, it really scared some folks that may have, you know, been home in the midday or weren't at work yet or had just gotten home. So this really could have affected quite a few people out here. Not really, I don't think I see hardly any students out here on the corner. This is at the corner of Coldwater and Oxnard, where LAPD has now shut down the street. I'm sure a lot of these folks are going to have a lot of questions for LAPD. Everyone obviously on edge, not just, you know, with the horrible events in Uvalde, but yesterday we had that credible threat to Modern Day High School in Orange County that caused some chaos as well. We heard there was another incident today in Rialto. So obviously it's on everybody's mind, and you know, you saw the very, very quick and large response here by LAPD, and the investigation just now beginning.
All right, we're going to keep an eye on this situation happening right now in Valley Glen. One person shot, their condition unknown. One person is actually an active, the shooter, whoever shot this person, is on the loose right now. Police are looking for that person, and we have no further information on that person, but we do know it was a student who was shot this afternoon at Ulysses High School. We'll have an update here on KCAL 9 throughout the newscast.